Krishna Utra Mazdau, and the Asham Bahu formula once. Panamayazdan Aura Mazda Kodae Awazuni Gorje Kore Awazayad Hom Yasht Beresad Az Hamaguna Patet Pashemanum Az Harvasten Dushmata Dus Hukta Dus Havarshta Membageti Manid Oem Goft Oem Card Oem Just Oem Boon Bud Ested As Anguna Manashni Gavashni Kunashni Tani Ravani Geti Minoani Oke Avaksh Pashaman Pase Gavashni Papatet Hom Kshnauthra Horahem Mazdau Tarudente Angrahe Mainyeush Haethyavarshtam Hiat Vasna Therashutemem Staum Ashem, and then the Ashem Bohu formula thrice. Fravarane Mazdayasnu Zarathustrish Vida Evu Ahuratagaeshu, the Ga of the period of the day is to be recited there. Frasasteya etcha haumahe ashavazango Kshnauthra Yasnacha Vahmacha Kshnauthracha Frasasteya Acha Yatha Ahuva Iryu Zauta Frame Mrute Atharatush Ashatachit Hachafra Ashava Vidvau Mra Ote Haumem Zaerim Berezantem Yazmaede Haumem Frashmim Fradat Gaethem Yazmaede Haumem Duraoshem Yazmaede. And what do they call that formula? They should really, just like they say Dashem Bohu formula, maybe they should say this formula, and then we've already had it, or just translate everything every time. Avanim Aratum Ahaumo Upat Zarathustrem Atarem Paere Yauzdathantem Gathauscha Straviantem Adem Peresat Zarathustro Kunare Ahe Yim Azem Vispahe Angeush Astvato Stra Eshtem Dad Aresa Kvahe Geyahe Kvanvatu Amashahe At Ma Aem Paete Aokta Ha'omu Ashava Draoshu Azem Ahme Zarathustra Ha'omu Ashava Draoshu Am Yasanguha Spitama from Hunvanguha Kvarata Avemam Stauma inne Stu inhe Yatha ma Aparachit Sa Ushyantu Stavan. During the dawn I forget exactly what Ga means, but Ephedra came to Zoroaster, who was purifying the fire and chanting. The Gathas, Zoroaster asked him, "O man, who are you? Whom do I see the most excellent and beautiful of immortal life in the entire physical world?" For that reason that Ephedra, the righteous, warding off sickness, replied unto me, "O Zoroaster, I am Ephedra, the righteous that prevents illness. Seek me." And, oh, well, kind of like sassafras is an illness preventer. Seek me. And, oh, Spitma, pound me out for drinking, and to honor me in a hymn of praise, as other benefactors have praised me. Well, so was he sick and he took the herb? It doesn't sound like he was sick, but this is the one that justifies, well, didn't he speak against the ritual drug use? What's going on? So you have to at least insert a myth where you bring it back. At aukta Zarathustro namo ha'omae kasethwam pa'oiryu ha'oma mashyu astva ithyae hunata ga athayae ka ahmae ashish erenave chit ahmae jasat ayaptem at me aem paete aokta haomo ashava durausho vivangau mam pao iryu mashu astvaethyae hunuta gaethiae ha ahmae ashish erenave Tat Ahma Jasat Eyaptem Yat Haputhro Usziata Yoyimu Kshaatu Havathwo Kvarenangu Hastamo Zatanam Vare Daresu Mashyanam Yat Karenaut Ange Kshatranha Amarashinta Pasu Vira Angaushemne Apa Rvaere Kvairian Kvarathem Ajyamnem Yimahe Kshatra Urvahe Nuit Autem Aunga Nuit Garemem Nuit Zaurva Aunga Nuit Merethush Nuit Arasku Da Evu Datu Pancha Dasa Fracharuitha Pitta Puthrascha Raudhaeshva Kataraschit Yavata Kshyeuit Vathwo Yimu Vivanguhatu Puthro. Then said Zoroaster, Salvation unto Ephedra. Which person, O Ephedra, was the first pressed out, who first pressed you out in the physical world? What blessing unto him was granted? What profit unto him accrued thereupon? Ephedra the righteous, warding off sickness, replied to me, Vivangan was the first person who pressed me in this physical world. This blessing unto him was granted, this profit unto him accrued, that for him a son was born with greatness, who was Jamshed, the king, most glorious among those born, beholding the sun amongst men, a good protector of the subjects, whom this world on account of sovereignty made cattle and men, immortal, made the waters and vegetation not drying up. They were eating fresh food. Well, there's certain levels of stuff, doesn't really become an intoxicant at a certain level, or, it can be just as a healing food or something. It doesn't mean that. Now, some things you can't, like Soma had marijuana and opium. You really can't escape the intoxicating properties. Well, I guess you could microdose. Not really with opium, though. No, some people take just a Well, there's healing effects of a lot of drug plants, so all in context, right? During the rule of the illustrious Jamshed, there was neither excessive cold nor excessive heat, neither was there old age or death. I don't see how this is possible, but nor was any envy following the doctrines of the demons. As long as Jamshed, the son of Vivangan, the good protector of the subjects, reigned, both the father and the son moved about. 15 years of age and appearance. Well, possibly they were ruling out of like some area where it didn't get too hot, didn't get too cold. But there's a lot of stories about paradise origins, and then humanity kind of messes up, and we don't have that anymore. Kasathwam betyohama mashu astvaethyae hunduta gathyae kaahmae ashish Erenave Chit Ahmae Jasat Ayaptem At Me Aempaete Aokta Haumu Ashava Duraoshu Athwio Mam Mityo Mashyo Astva Ithyae Hunuta Gaeth Ayae Ha Ahmae Ashish Erenave Tat Ahmae Jasat Ayaptem Yat He Puthro Us Zayata Vizu Suriau Thraetaunu Yu Jannat Azim Dahakem Thre Zafanem Thre Kemirenhem Kshvashashim Hazangra Yaokshtim Ash Aujangem Daevim Drujem Agem Gaethavio Drvantem Yam Ash Aujastemam Drujem Fracha Kerentat Angru Mainush Aveyam Astvaetim Gaetham Maherkae Ashahe Gaethnam. Now, okay, it mentions the ephedra again, but the ephedra based. So aside from those three things, like there's reason to think that there was 37 other plants, most of them not intoxicating at all, just curative properties. Although there was at least one plant that was in a 40 plant blend that did increase the high. There was more than one, but I'm picturing it. I don't know the name. Hom, which was the second man who pressed you out in the physical world. What blessing unto him was granted? What profit unto him acquired? Thereupon, Ephedra, the righteous, warding off sickness, replied to me, Athauyan was the second person who pressed me out in this physical world. This blessing unto him was granted. This was profitable unto him. And he acquired that for him a son. Faradun, of the valiant race, and was born with greatness, who slew the 3-jawed, 3-skulled, 6-orbed of 1,000 wiles, excessively strong, devilish liar Zohak, who was a harmful infidel. He was they mean he was an apostate, or he certainly wasn't faithful to certain teachings. What word? Dervantum? For the settlements, whom the evil spirit created. Well, it's not the same type. It's not the same word for creation as the other, is it? It's not the type of creation God does. We see this linguistically. By far the strongest liar upon the physical world, for the destruction of the settlements of the righteous. Kasafwam Thrityo ha-oma masyo astvaythyae hunuta gaethiae ka ahmae ashish heranabe chet ahmae jasat ayaptem at me a empaete a okta ha omu ashava draosho drito samanam sevishto thretyo mam mashyo astva ithyae hunuta ga ethyae ha ahmae ashish ernave tat ahmae jasat ayaptem yat ha puthra us ziu ithe vakshiyu keresas pascha takaeshu anyu natu razu at anyu uparu ka iryu yava ga asush ganhavaru yu janat azim sravarem yim aspogarem naregarem yim vishavantem zairitem yim upaire vish raudhat areshtio bareza zairitem yim upaire keresaspo ayanga pitum pachata aarapithwinem zervanim tavsatcha huma iryu kvisatcha frash eyango frasparat yashyantim apem paraungat parash tarshtu apatachat nare manau keres aspo. Oh. Ephedra. Based, which was the third person who pressed you out in the physical world. What blessing unto him was granted? What profit did he acquire? Thereupon, the righteous ephedra that prevents sickness. Oh, well, that cures a sickness. Okay, that's, say, something you take to get over being sick. Replying unto me, Vritta, the most beneficent of the Sama family. Could this be where the Soma term comes from? The third person who pressed me out in this physical world, this blessing unto him was granted, this profit unto him accrued, that for him 2 sons, Urvaksheya and Karasaspa, were born with greatness. One was of religious mentality, one who points out the path of justice, while the other was a supremely passionate youth, curly-haired, bearing a spiked weapon, who killed the serpent Saravara, and who? Yes, okay. A horned serpent who devoured horses, devoured people, among who the green poison rose to the depth of a thumb, upon whom Karashaspa cooked the food in an iron pot at the time of noon. That serpent grew hot and began to hiss, and forth from the iron pot sprang away, that he might run towards the flowing water. The brave Karasaspa, being frightened, fled away, backing away. Kasavwam tu iryu ha mashu astvayatyae hunuta gaathayae ka ahmae ashish eranave chit ahmae jasat ayaptem at me aem paete aokta haomu ashava dura oshu pourushaspu mam tu iryu mashyo astva ithyae hunuta ga ethyae ha ahmae ashish eranave tat ahmae jasat ayaptem yat hatum us ziangatum erezvu Zarathustra manahe pa urushaspahe vida evu huratakaeshu sruto airyane vajahe tum pa iryu Zarathustra ahunem va irim frasravayu viberethvantem actu irim aparem krausnyaya frasruete tum zemarguzu akerenavu vispeda Zarathustra yue para ahmat viru raudha apatein paete aya zemayu aujishtu yu tanjishtu yu wakshishtu yu ashishtu yu ashverethrajastemu amavat Mainivau Daman. Oh. Ephedru. Which person? The fourth. But was the fourth person to press you in the physical world? Well, that implies maybe there's on another world, right? What blessing unto him was granted? What profit unto him accrued? For that reason, the righteous Ephedru-based removing sickness replied unto me, Po Uru Shaspa was the fourth person who pressed me in this physical world. This blessing unto him was granted, this profit unto him acquired, that for him you were born with greatness, a righteous Zoroaster. You are the house of Pauru Shaspa, estranged of the demons, and follower of the law of the Lord of Mindfulness. O Zoroaster, famed in Airyana Va'edja, you are the first who recited aloud the Ahunavar, spread aloud, spread abroad, chanted 4 times, and they chanted with a louder voice, so 5 times. The importance of 5 times in ritual. You, O Zoroaster, who among the creatures of the 2 spirits, Spentamainu and Grainu, which side are you going to take, was created the strongest, who, the most firm, the most active, the swiftest, who exceedingly victorious, caused all the demons to hide under the earth, who up to now ran about upon this earth in human shape. And we see that idea that when the prophet of the age comes, that something happens, the demons don't have the ability that they used to. But speaking of ability, how do you have the experience like taking these drugs consciously and essentially without taking the drugs?